morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always, told out of Voice of Radio. So today we need to take a look at some more cool stuff which is coming for the Pokemon TCG. Now, here's the thing. The other day, I told you about the Charizard and Scizor Tactics decks that are coming out into Asian territories, I believe Hong Kong and Taiwan. And when I made that video, that was true. There were Tactics decks for Charizard and Scizor coming out in Hong Kong and Taiwan. And actually, it was really interesting because the Charizard was a direct, well, no, not entirely, but it was very similar to the Japanese Battle Master deck. Not exactly the same, but same alternate art. But then the Scizor was completely new with alternate art, except it was also then super weird because for some reason they didn't include the Chen Pao deck. Which seems weird that they wouldn't include the Chen Pao deck. That just seemed weird to me. Well, now we've got a bunch more decks and some other stuff as well. And we still don't have the Chen Pao deck. I don't know what it is, but we're apparently not getting the Chen Pao deck. What we are getting, however, is 4 decks that I didn't tell you about the other day, plus some extra stuff. So I think we need to finish what we started the other day. You see, it turns out there are 6 decks in total, and they feature, alongside Charizard and Scizor, Garchomp, Gardevoir, Miraidon, and Meowscarada. And yes, they are all alternate art. Are they massively different artwork? No. Are they alternate arts of really good playable Pokemon? Kind of. There really are some ones that stand out here, like Charizard, great deck, great card, super playable. Gardevoir, absolutely. Miraidon, oh my word, yes. Garchomp, very fringy. Meowscarada, even fringier. And Scizor, nah mate, that one's terrible. But there are a set of 6 of these coming out now. We still don't have the Chen Pao, and at this stage, let's face it, the Chen Pao's not coming. We also don't have one for every typing, although we have a bunch of them. We've even got a new water deck in Garchomp, but we've not got the Chen Pao there, which is a little bit weird. But we do have a bunch of alternate arts here, and like I say, the Charizard has previously been seen, this alternate art version of it, has previously been seen over in Japan. But the rest of these, the other 5 of these, are all missing. Are we going to get them? Is Japan going to get them? I don't know. Don't ask me. No one's told me anything. But these are extremely cool decks that are going to be really good for a lot of players just for getting into the game. Like, I've long said that our league battle decks are going to be the best thing for getting people into playing competitively, and this seems to be the equivalent thereof. Seems to be a similar kind of thing where they're designed to be good decks. Now, what I really like, they've got, as I showed you the other day, they've got little things on the front of the box where they're basically showing you the strengths of each particular deck, which is honestly kind of awesome. And I love that they're doing this. I think this is a wonderful thing to do. And I think trying to get people into playing competitive Pokemon and giving them an easier way in is great. I'm still slightly confused as to why they're so different in terms of how playable they actually are. That does seem a little bit weird to me. But the fact that we're getting half a dozen of these is cool. And I don't know how easy it's going to be for me to try and pick some of these up, but I very much would like to, because they just seem fun. Now, if anybody's wondering, hey, Wassy, might we get more of these? Nah, not yet. And the reason we're not getting more of these is because they've gone and shown off a bunch of accessories here. And, I mean, look at the artwork of this deck box. The artwork of this deck box is clearly, oh, it's the 6 of them. Okay, cool. So there's no ifs, buts, or maybes here. There's no surprises. It is just going to be these 6. There will not be any more, because if there were, they would be on this picture. Similarly, we've got a dice box here, or damage counter box. You can store whatever you like in it. But once again, if we have a look at the artwork on this box, you'll notice it features those 6 Pokemon and no others. If you want one more piece of proof, we have a playmat, which features these 6 Pokemon. And as a side note, oh my word, I love this playmat. This playmat is awesome. But I think the fact that we've got these accessories with the artwork of the 6 of them tells me quite clearly that we are not getting any others. It is just those 6. But I know what you're thinking. Those decks look cool. But what if I don't want to just buy a pre-constructed deck? What if I want a little bonus in my pre-constructed deck as well? Well, it looks like you get one card pack in each of these decks, and it features one of 10 different stamped promo cards. And these are very, very cool. They're all straight reprints, no alternate art or anything like that. But they are straight reprints of really playable cards. So we got ourselves Luminian V. You know, that really good one that goes and finds you a supporter card? The one that sees a huge amount of play in a whole bunch of decks? Yeah, that one's in there. That's pretty gosh darn cool. We've got the Bent Sitting Manaphy. Now, this is a big ask, but if there is anyone out there that finds themselves, you know, maybe you're in Hong Kong or Taiwan, maybe you buy one of these decks, maybe you open up your pack and you've got the Manaphy in there, maybe you want to trade it with your old pal Wassy, maybe hit me up on Twitter at the Wassy, we arrange a trade. I would love, because it's Hyganasuke artwork, I love Hyganasuke. I would very much like to trade for this Manaphy. We've got Counter Catcher, that item-based gusting that works just so long as you've got more prizes remaining than your opponent. A staple card that sees a bunch of play. We've got Earthen Vessel, that card that lets you discard a card from your hand and then go and search for 2 basic energy cards. Sees a huge amount of play. That's here as well. We've got Heavy Ball. Now, this is a staple in almost every deck at this point because it goes and gets a basic Pokemon from your prizes. This is the card that means we can afford to play a bunch of random one-off basic Pokemon and not be too terrified because you can get them out of the discard. We've then got Lost Vacuum, another absolute unashamed staple. Lets you Lost Zone a card from your hand to Lost Zone a tool or stadium. It's really good as a stadium counter, but it's also really good in Lost Zone decks just for building up your Lost Zone a little bit faster, because playing this card, you Lost Zone a card from your hand, you then Lost Zone your own tool or stadium, and that's +2 in the Lost Zone, which is pretty big. We've got Rescue Board, which, you know, does the whole retreating thing a bit more easily, or free if you've got 30 or less HP remaining, which is awesome. Forest Seal Stone. Now this, before it got printed in a League Battle deck for us, this was a card that was ballooning in price because it's such a good staple. It gives you a V-Star power and ability that lets you search for any card. Most, not all, but most decks that play Pokemon V play this card because it gives you a great option for searching out whatever you need. We've then got Carmine, which can either be a switch or let you do extra damage to EXs and Vs. Card we saw used to great effect at the North American International Championships. And then we got Double Turbo Energy, which is your, you know, standard double energy. A very, very cool card. One that, again, sees a lot of play in a lot of different decks. I love this. The other day I showed you the first 2 Tactics decks because they were the ones that had been shown off and I showed you the kind of thing they look like. But now we've got news of 4 more, and again, cannot stress this enough, they have exclusive alternate arts that cannot be found anywhere else, which is kind of awesome. Now, I should mention that the Miraidon is the one from Scarlet and Violet. Of course, we've had multiple Miraidon EX at this point, so it is important to note it is the good one, the one that goes and searches out your lightning-type Pokemon. It's a cool card. It sees a bunch of play. It's one of my favourite cards. It's a very nice one. And in terms of getting the merch, there's actually a little points card you go and get from stores, and you complete activities to fill up the points. So you've got 1 point for the deck box, 6 for the damage counter tin, and then 10 will get you the playmat, which I think is pretty gosh darned awesome. So yeah, that sounds like fun to me, ladies and gentlemen. That sounds like fun to me. We got 6 new decks, 5 of which have exclusive alternate art. The last one has been seen in Japan, but only in Japan. And we got ourselves some pretty cool merch to go along with this, which I know a lot of people are going to be fans of. And frankly, this is cool. I do believe we will get these alternate arts we generally tend to. I don't know exactly how that's going to happen, whether that's in a special set or whether it's going to be a set of promos or however it might be. I do feel fairly confident that we will be at some point getting these alternate arts. Cannot say for absolute certain. Do feel fairly confident it's going to happen at some point. But I've told you what you need to know. And now it's over to you guys. Tell me what you think about these. Tell me how much you'd love them over here. Go nuts in the comment section, but be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWarcy. That's where we talk about Pokemon and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, join a Discord, and all kinds of fun things. And get shout-outs on the channel, like the lovely Evan Parker, who's been a supporter of ours for a while now and is a very lovely person. So shout out to them for the support and the loveliness. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross and you've been watching PTCG Radio.